Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Newcastle against Manchester City, as Newcastle really dropped points against Man City. I think I want to show you some of these penalty decisions, and when I talk it through, I'm going to have you decide and you tell me what you think. But I think that there should have been another penalty from old Kyle Walker, but we'll get to that in a minute. I want to show you this little first mistake here by Kieran Trippier, and it's one of these things that when I call it out, you're going to see it straight away. Kippers is right here, and that's what we're going to call him now, Kippers, and he has no reason to go and pressure here, right? He doesn't know where this defender is behind him or how close he can afford to get to the ball, because Kippers isn't the fastest player anymore, so he can't really overcommit. Remember, the space is dangerous here, not the ball. The space is dangerous, not the ball. He can see that there's a player making a run, and if he overcommits, the ball's going to go straight in behind him and he's in all sorts of trouble. That's not exactly what happens, but that's what ends up happening. As a left or a right back, you can't overcommit into these areas 1v1 because you are just leaving the space behind you just to be exploited. You have to hold your shape, you have to wait and be patient. You have to wait until you get near closer to the 18-yard box. Why the 18-yard box? Because this space here is dangerous. Look how much extra space. That's brilliantly drawn by me. The space is the danger, and the space is the danger. You don't overcommit to the ball because they're just going to go around you. And that's exactly what Kippers does. He comes in, he goes for the tackle, tries to overcommit, and he ends up getting beat by the floppy-haired guy from City, Jack Grealish. Now you've got a problem, because what ends up happening is you've got a centre midfielder who's streaking over to mark here, but you've also got a centre-back that gets caught in a no-man's land. He's not sure what to do. Does he mark this player? Does he go to the ball? And it's kind of understandable, because what you're really thinking in this situation, you're going, right, can I get there quicker than this guy that's on the run? Do I still have to hold this space and do something here? He's not quite sure. And remember, this is happening in real time, so he's got to make that decision super quick. And this is what ends up happening. As soon as this player gets close enough, anywhere near Grealish, he flicks it into the inside, into the half space, which Man City play for all the time. Now the centre-back's completely out of position, all because Kippers has dived in up here and made an awful mistake, and now it's just a case of passing it into the net box. He doesn't get all his own way, mind. The Newcastle cavalry comes in trying to defend, but they're overcommitting at this point, and he just rolls into the far corner. Quality goal. Not much the keeper can really do, because I tell you right now, the keeper's looking that he's going to go to the front post and take it quickly. Doesn't think that comeback's going to happen. That cutback is going to happen, and it's really, really quickly. So let's just get on to the Newcastle goal, because we're going to cover these penalties. All right, thanks a lot. I'm not sure why I said all right, thanks a lot, but there we go. Right, so one of the key points before the penalties, I want to show you how high the City line is. And old Kyle Walker is keeping everybody on side here. He's been a little bit lazy. And when you've been playing at such a high level as Kyle Walker has for such a long time, little mistakes start to creep in as you get older, just because you're so confident and you've been doing things so good for such a long time. This, if he's just up back here on side, keeping him offside, staying in line with his team, he's fast enough, let's be honest, he's quick enough to do that. There isn't an issue, and his keeper's not put in this awful situation, but the keeper is. Now at this point, the keeper doesn't really have to do much. All he has to do is kind of stand, be strong, and make the guy go around him and see if he can just go out of bounds. But he does come up forward, and he does try to put in a bit of a divey tackly thing, and he does catch the kiddie. He's going down a little too early, he's got to push the ball wide, and yeah, there we go. Now, I've heard, I was watching a little bit of Twitter where someone was accusing him of diving. Don't think that's the case. And this is the angle I'm talking about. He just kind of catches him and he goes over. Does he go over a little bit too easy? Yeah, but welcome to modern football, unfortunately. Comes up to take his strike. Easily beats the keeper. He goes one way, ball goes the other. Standard penalty in the Prem. Let's just get on to that final penalty decision where I think Newcastle were robbed of their points. And this is what I'm talking about. Kyle Walker there is leaning, pushing into the guy. Maybe I'll just put it back half a second just to show you in a minute. But he's just jumping into the play. He's not trying to play the ball at all. And if he did, by the way, if he just toe poked the ball, he could play it out here. There wouldn't be an issue and there'd be no problem. But he's not. He's trying to play the man and he takes him out completely. Boom. Just runs him down and flattens him. No, it doesn't matter about the ball because he's taking the player out. He's not shielding the ball. If he's just taking the player out, he at some point has to try to touch the ball, and this should have been a penalty and it wasn't. I think referee bottled it after giving one penalty he thought he couldn't give two. It was too much for him. He got a bit scared, and yeah, there we go. Newcastle were robbed of their points. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.